David JP Phillips. My name is Dr. Paul. This is my fourth recording. In the words of the late great Mark Twain, the other three videos were the essence of I didn't have time to write you a short letter, so I wrote you a long one instead. I'm trying my best to learn public speaking. My story is I used to be an engineer. My undergrad was in electrical engineering and computer engineering in the state of Texas. And I am now in North Carolina and have gone all the way on a 6-7 year trek. 10 years. Yeah, 10 years. 10-year trek of finding myself now a doctor of chiropractic, practicing a holistic method of healing that allows people to find the greatest amount of ease in their system, no matter what posture they take. For instance, a lot of people take this posture, and we all know what that means. It's a thinking pose. But people store their tensions, their stresses in the spine and in the body, all their pent-up emotions, what they wanted to say at one certain time, the things that happened to them that they were never able really to process. PTSD patients, people who have gone through childhood traumas of all variety of natures. The really tough ones and just the really tough, meaningful ones that are hard to even say. And just the piling up of also day-to-day stresses that we're never able to really truly let go of. So the practice that I have allows the body to pay attention to itself once again, just through the lightest amount of touch, to bring awareness back to the self, specifically the spine, and unwind the tension that's between the shoulders. Unwind the tension in the neck. And be able to breathe free and clear and stretch and make those micro adjustments that allow the body to be in ease no matter what posture you're taking. Because let's think about it, if we're in the thinking pose but you're in a lot of tension, you're not going to be thinking for too long. And this posture is something that people take even if they're standing up and not there. The C2 drops a little bit forward. And interestingly, it's much like facial expressions. We never learned them through just cues. There's something that comes naturally as a natural expression to the body. So do the postures. There's different ones, like the thinking, of course. The I'm going to fight you. There's the pushing against the world. There is uncertainty in yourself and your view in society. All those things people take from day to day. And sometimes people can get stuck in those postures, just like we tell children that if they keep making that face one anymore, that it's going to stick that way and they're going to look ugly forever. Oh dear. A little harsh to say to a kid, but I want to be able to give what I've learned. I've learned amazing practices that help the body be able to relieve its tension. I've learned practices that give health and strength and vigor to the body. Taoist practice, Qigong practice, Tao Yin practices, yogic breathing practices that are super easy to do and practices that are super difficult to do. Things that work on the mind, things that work on the heart, things that work on the actual connection to the divine virtues that allow the muse to come through and really use one as a conduit for the benefit of all, rather than just one person. I have a lot to share, and I'm working on my public speaking. So because of this, I want to learn from someone, particularly you. I was drawn to you by your reaction to PewDiePie's video, and then I went on and watched your TED Talks and looked at the possibility of signing up on JP University, and I was like, oh geez, I'm just starting out as a doctor. I don't have the liquid assets, so to say, in order to be able to join right now. And I hope so in the future, but I would love a jump start, because all that knowledge does not bring people in the door. It's our ability to weave a story and make them realize that it's something that they could really use for the benefit of themselves, because so many people are trying very hard, and we can look at the disparity in the world and say, why? And for some people, it's resources. All people, it's resources, but sometimes it's internal resources, not like, oh, they're not smart enough, oh, they're not, educated enough. It's they're carrying so much more stress that even the weight on their shoulders is heavier than everybody else's. One more thing, like for instance, the weight of the head is like a bowling ball. It's about 9-10 pounds. But as somebody starts to slink down like this is a posture specifically taken with tucking your tail beneath the legs. This is something that traumatic happened. This moves the head out of alignment with the rest of the body. And in so doing, the weight on their shoulders, the weight on their chest becomes heavier and heavier and heavier, because the spine is designed to keep it as straight as possible and be able to dissipate that tension. But when it's gone, when that's taken out of alignment, their shoulders get tight to try to keep the head in that posture. It's a very difficult thing, and I want to help people like that. And you, David JP Phillips. I'm terrible with names. You're looking for 19 people to basically give something that you've learned, that you sought out, to benefit as many people as you can. That's what a public speaker ultimately seems to want to do. It's not for the attentions to inspire others to action, bring them to a better knowledge. Storytelling is how we've grown as a species, and it's something that needs to be continued to cultivate, because we can stand on a mountain of technology, but after all those generations, it doesn't matter what technology we have. It's the caliber, the strength of the person standing on top of all those shoulders of giants that came before us. So, regardless of who you pick well. I hope it's me, but if it's not, that's okay, because you'll have found 19 other people who are much more deserving. And I hope I can be humble enough to say that might not be me. But I wish you the best of luck and to be victorious. Thank you very much for listening. Have a wonderful day.